And now we are getting to the final section of sample exam 1, which is section 5, understanding the impact of advertising and pricing coefficient. Suppose that in the future the impact of advertising will decrease. Add 3 more scenarios with advertising coefficient equals 0.1, 0.07 and 0.01, maximizing production at 10,000. Explain the changes in the advertising cost and price per unit. This is a pretty straightforward task. We will have to do 3 additional scenarios, replacing the advertising with different values. I have already renamed, to make it easier to see the scenario manager, I have renamed the advertising cell to advertising, the price per unit cell to price, and the advertising coefficient to adcoef. So now let's check Solver first. From the previous exercise you may have here 20,000, still I have modified it already to 10,000, so the production is indeed limited at 10,000. Let's see now the different scenarios. The first scenario is 0.1. So 0.1, I will just type it in, use Solver to solve this. And done. Record it. Don't forget that right now we will need an additional, this is the adcoef 0.1, that we need an additional cell here, so using Control select the advertising coefficient, because the value of this has to be also recorded. Click OK. Alright, click OK again. Excellent. Now we change this value to 0.07. Do the same. Store this. 0.07. Okay. Yes, we would like to store these values. Excellent. And the last one, change this again, 0.01. Solver, solve. And using the scenario manager. Record this one as well, 0.01. Okay, we have all 3 scenarios. Let's compare them. Leave everything as it is. Don't worry about the production 10,000 and production 20,000, because clearly for those scenarios, and actually the scenario manager notes this, that these cells were not recorded. So they are just, the advertising coefficient is just calculated using the current value, or rather displayed with the current value, and therefore these items are differing from the original scenario summary where we had 0.05 here. Okay, so that's why in practice, when you are working with Scenario Manager, you have to know from the very beginning which are the cells you would like to record. Let's concentrate on the items we want to discuss. But we can see that at 0.1, so when previously in the initial cases, 0.51 was the advertising coefficient. Roughly, this means that you need total $2 in advertising to get 1 item increase in demand. Here we changed it to 0.1, so you need actually $10 in advertising in order to increase demand by 1 single transformer. As you can see, the end result has become here that in order to actually maximize the operating income in this scenario, the price has decreased from 158 to 154, and the advertising value increased from 12,134 to 49,700, so it has been maxed out. So in contrast to the previous situation when pricing was maxed out and advertising was not maxed out, right now we see the opposite. The advertising is maxed out and the pricing is not maxed out, because the demand decreasing impact of the price cannot be counteracted properly with advertising, since the advertising is less efficient now. Once again, previously $2 for one, now $10 for one item increase. If we look at 0.07, the same thing as 0.1, we can see that really indeed here the sensitivity is rather high to the coefficient. 0.1 already decreasing price decreasing further at 0.07, and at 0.01 it goes even further, and it shows that now we cannot counteract the impact of pricing, the negative impact of pricing using advertising, and in fact the pricing, the advertising impact is so low that in order to maximize operating income, Solver finds a solution where advertising is only $2,750. So indeed, as noted, understanding the impact of advertising and pricing coefficients as noted in the task, the impact is very important, and depending on the ratio of these two items you may get very different results from your optimization. And this concludes the task. Feel free to read the text I added in the solution on Moodle. Thank you.